Welcome back, guys. Today we're back down the marina while happy hours is on the hard, and we're going to work on removing the propellers to get them refurbished this year. What's up, guys? Today's we're going to be pulling the props off the boat, get them refurbished for the winter. So we have a trusty wrench, going to pull those nuts off, and we have a prop puller. Thanks to my friend Aaron. Let me borrow this. Alright, first we're going to have to pull that cotter pin out, and we'll get these nuts off first, and hopefully it's not too hard to pull the whole prop off. Remember, the large nut goes on last. Got the small nut up against the propeller. I'll have to take a picture of that so I don't forget later. Thanks, roosters. The propeller wasn't in particularly any bad shape, but I had hit some items in the river, some large logs, and I did do some bumps on the ground when we went into shallow waters. So I wanted to get it refurbished before we made any more longer trips this year, which is what we're planning to do. A long 2x4 or block of wood comes in handy. It keeps the propeller from rotating as you're trying to loosen the nuts. You want to get yourself a good sturdy wrench, because these nuts could be a little tight and hard to pull off. Give yourself some leverage, and a nice tug should set it free. You'll want to inspect all the nuts and hardware, clean them up before they're reinstalled, and get yourself a new cotter pin. Now for the hard part. Installing the prop puller could be a little tricky depending on the size of your propeller and if you have 3 blades or 4 blades. There's numerous holes in the prop puller that you could use to put the bolts through, depending on how you could fit it on your prop. You want the bolts to go straight through the prop blades and the plate to be centered on the shaft. Also watch for your clearance on the rear plate that grabs the propeller. You don't want it to get too close to the blades where it could put a notch or ding the propeller blades. Once you're satisfied with the placement, tighten up the bolts evenly, just a half turn or so on each bolt to keep the pressure from twisting the prop. You'll want a heavy hammer or a sledge to give taps to the rear of the propeller to help knock it off. Mine was on there pretty tough, and I was having trouble with it. Adding some lubrication spray and oil could help free things up a bit. It was giving me a pretty hard time, so it's time to break out the heat gun. I turned the heat up all the way on the gun and heated up the hub of the propeller as best I could, hoping that would help free it up. It was a pretty cold day, so I was thinking this would be a good idea. After heating up the hub, I placed the 2x4 back to lock the propeller and really laid into those nuts to put a lot of pressure on the propeller. As luck would have it, I stopped the camera just as the propeller fell off the shaft. Right after I stopped the camera. Yeah, it worked. After cleaning the shaft off a bit, it seemed a little bit dry. It wasn't rusted, but there didn't seem to be any grease on it. Time to get that key off now. The key came off pretty easily, and it was in fairly good shape. I think this propeller was only on for a few years. The hub of the propeller has the part number stamped on it and also the size of the propeller. 22 inches, right rotation, with a 21-inch pitch. I gave this information to the machinist for the prop, and I sent them off to get worked. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the spring when we reinstall these new wheels.